Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome back to a brand new Locals feature match. Here we are in top 8 for this week's Locals, and you've got yours truly on the left playing Sinful Spoils Infernoble. I got a deck profile, test hand, and combo video coming up for this deck, so be on the lookout for that, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But we're playing against the Labrynth Unchained deck, the same deck that you guys saw in the last round of Swiss. I do start with the draw phase wanted, adding the Diabell Star, the Black Witch, then Rhoda 4 connector, and then normal summon connector that does resolve here, summoning out the Aqua Dolphin. Now, I do have a hand that will allow me to check for hand chaps of 3k and under, so I decided not to fire off the Dolphin right away, and instead I used the Durendal in my hand here to grab essentially what I actually would like to discard off of Dolphin, which is Ogier. I could have grabbed Turpin here as well, but I like the idea of grabbing Ogier because I can just summon it off of a soul when I summon Ricky or Detto, and also allows me to get Gear Feed on field to be able to, again, hit things 3k or under. My opponent actually does have the Lord of the Heavenly Prison in hand and a couple of traps. They actually decide to scoop because they will not have that protection from Lord of the Heavenly Prison there. And they just ended up admitting defeat. It kind of took me by surprise, but at the same time, you know, I get it. As soon as I saw, like, oh yeah, you have a 3,000 attack monster on field, yeah, you got it. We'll just go to the next one. I was like, all right, fair enough. I'm not going to argue about that one. Felt good to get the game 1 win, considering when I played the same player in round 1, our first game took 35 minutes and I lost. So it was good to have a very quick game 1, to say the least. So my opponent goes first with the Pot of Extravagance, draws 2, and finds his way into the Eradicator Epidemic Virus. And as you can see in my hand there, I do have, I believe, 2 spells, and one of them is potentially getting ripped out of the hand. Well, any card in my hand could potentially get ripped out by the lovely Chandraglier, or the Stompy Torby, sorry, is going to go ahead and set one. And they ended up normal summoning the other level 4 Labrynth monster. I know there's Ariana, and I honestly don't know the other name of the level 4 one. They look very, very similar. One's pink, one's green. And yeah, I know the green one is the more commonly played one. And this is definitely an unorthodox build of Labrynth, at least from what I understand, because I don't think I've ever played against a Labrynth Unchained deck. So we're going to see him go ahead and link here. And this is also another thing you don't see in a Labrynth deck, accessing the extra deck and going for Unchained Soul Lord Yama, adding a copy of Sharvara to the hand. You know, definitely not your typical Labrynth combo, that's for sure. And, you know, the end board really doesn't look anything crazy right now, but I know that there's an Eradicator Epidemic Virus in the back row, and he's also gone into the Unchained Soul of Rage, and also going to resolve the Sharvara here, which is going to grab the Escape of the Unchained. And so he has Escape set, he has Eradicator, he has one Unknown set, and they also have the Unchained Soul of Rage. I start by activating the Durendal on the Unchained Soul of Rage, and they were thinking here, and I was also a little shocked to see that they didn't use the Eradicator just yet, but they end up using it right now. I thought they might have shotgunned it first, but they decided to get a little extra value. They chain D-Barrier, chain the Silver, and then chain the Eradicator to that, so they can get a copy of Big Welcome Labrynth set, and they get to take a look at the hand here. We have Fenrir, Ogier, Turpin, and I think Aqua Dolphin. Not the greatest going second hand, but at least I still have Fenrir here coming in clutch as a going second card. So I go ahead and special summon Fenrir, activate Fenrir effect to go ahead and add another copy of Fenrir. And I really still have to just worry about not being able to synchro, which cuts you off from quite a bit. Yes, one of your best boss monsters is a Link monster, but you cannot get into that Link monster if you cannot first perform a synchro summon. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely still a lot the deck can do underneath the D-Barrier like restriction. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have grabbed Rise Heart unless I sided it out, which I would not be surprised if I did going second. It's a card that I feel like I should be siding out, going second against, I mean, just in general siding out. But this is one of those rare occasions where being able to grab Rise Heart and then special summoning him via his own effect actually would come up. Because yes, it does Xyz lock you, but so long as you can access Dempsey, which gets you to something like Renault, you know, you can still just play like Dempsey, Fenrir, Beatdown, right? You're already unable to synchro, and now you can only Xyz, and Fenrir is a hell of a card, so not the worst thing. It can definitely come up in some situations. So summon out Turpin, end up linking it off with the Unchained Soul of Rage. I try to Fenrir on res, and then they use the escape, and that's going to go ahead and pop the Anguish and Fenrir, and they're going to get to add back, and they're also going to trigger Yama, which summons back the Ariana, and that's going to go ahead and net them a search. And right now I really don't have any other plays to make whatsoever. So yeah, I don't think, like, I don't know if I could have played that much differently. Like, just thinking about it, like, outside of maybe, again, like, if the Rise Heart was still in my deck, which I'm not 100% sure if it even was at this point, if adding that would have made a difference, it would have given me at least another body on field to work with while the Fenrir was still there. But again, of course, that adds to the restrictions I'm already underneath, which is the, you know, the D barrier now, plus only being able to Xyz summon. Which, you know, of course, could get me to, like, Dempsey, which gets me to Renault, and then maybe I'm sending Gearfried, I'm adding Gearfried back, right? So, and then banishing the Durendal or the DDR that's already in the grave. So yeah, don't, if you do play the Fenrir package, don't be afraid to use that Rise Heart effect. Because sometimes the restriction doesn't matter, especially if you have just like Dempsey, Fenrir, and Gearfried on field. Like, you don't even need to access other extra deck monsters. But here in game 3, we do open up pretty strong. Love seeing that draw phase wanted. Also got Gearfried in hand and Museum. So we're going to go ahead and play the Museum, activate the effect to pay 12 to go ahead and search for a Noble Arms card or Horn of Oliphant. And we're going to go ahead and add the Durendal, and we get hit with the Droll and Lockbird. Now, that's fine because we've resolved Museum's first effect. So now we have access to its second effect. And I've also hard opened Ogier, which is always nice, the one of. And then we go ahead and normal summon Ogier and equip Turpin, or well, send Turpin rather. Now I do make a misplay. Yeah, I've probably already made a couple misplays that I haven't even pointed out, but I know for a fact here in game 3 there's something I should have done differently regarding the field spell. I go ahead and use Oliver, send off the Gearfried in the hand. And keep in mind we are under Droll and Lockbird, so no second Museum here off the impending Angelica. So we synchro into that, because of course Oliver is made a level 1 monster when you special summon him from hand by sending from field or hand. And then I use the Oliver effect engrave, targeting Angelica. I then chain Angelica to go ahead and tag out, summon a Roland from the deck or extra deck. This time it's obviously going to be from the extra deck, like it pretty much always is. And then we can send a Fire Warrior, pardon the Earthquake there, little mini Earthquake on the table. And then we send Maud, just obviously can't use Maud just because, again, we are under Droll and Lockbird. But here, I get a little bit ahead of myself, and a little bit is an understatement. I send off the field spell for Diabellstar, which literally makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, like, that was complete nonsense. A complete and utter nonsensical play. I could have done things so differently. Like, I could have equipped the Durendal in my hand to the Roland, and then Turpin special summoned itself, and then made Charles, right? And then Roland equip, make Link Charles, and then use Field Spell to bring that up, right? Like, and then send the Field Spell for Diabellstar. Well, no, then I'd be Warrior Locked, so I'd have to done it a little bit earlier. Well, I guess what I could have done is equipped the Durendal, summon Turpin, then Diabellstar away the equip, right? And then we set Snake Eye. So I just, like, completely missed out on a free interruption of having a second Charles link because I sent off the wrong card with the Diabell Star. I was just like too tunnel vision, like I usually am with a lot of things in this game. I just, for some reason, tunnel vision so much on stupid things. It's a constantly ongoing battle in my career as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, which is coming up on 10 years now, which is a little frightening. But yeah, we use a Snake Eye, summon out the Renault. Renault is going to go ahead and add back Gearfried, special summon Gearfried, and I do this in this very weird order where I decide to banish the Ogier instead of the Durendal, like, because like I just had the option of either having a Gearfried that couldn't be destroyed by card effects or one that could be, and I just aptly chose the one that could be destroyed by card effects, which is very suspicious. Either way, we still end on Gearfried, Link Charles, and we also end on the Roland Pop. So like it's not bad, but like it could have just been a lot better. So my opponent normal summons the Arana, and like I don't know what else I'm negating with Gearfried, so I decided to negate with the Gearfried, negate and destroy, get it off the field. Deny him a search of any Labrynth card, send off the Charles Synchro, and at this point, like, because I don't know if it's like worth like negating something like Coup Clock instead, but I guess it's a matter of what they start with first, right? They activate Labrynth Field Spell, I'm like, that's fine. They set 2, they attempt to leave main. Before main is up, I go Roland effect to equip, Charles effect to pop a set, and on target, I end up sniping a Welcome Labrynth, and they pass turn, and then we are free to go to main phase here. I go Modus effect to equip, they chain another Welcome Labrynth, and I chain that Charles to negate, and that is the match. We take it 2-1, and last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillacs, Green, Misfit, and HH Cyber. Thank you guys so very much for your incredibly kind and very generous support of the channel.